Water. It's simple, clear, and everywhere, yet it becomes more vital than ever as we cross the age of 60. Many seniors overlook hydration, mistaking thirst for fatigue or hunger, and miss signs their bodies are struggling without enough water. As we age, our bodies go through quiet but significant changes that reduce our natural thirst mechanism, creating hidden dehydration risks. In youth, thirst is a strong signal, but after 60, that signal weakens, leaving the body dry without ever sounding the alarm. You may think you're drinking enough, yet your cells could be gasping, your body quietly suffering in the background without a clear warning. Dehydration in older adults is not just about dry mouths or dizziness. It can spiral into confusion, infections, and even hospital stays. Every system in the aging body, muscles, joints, brain, skin, heart, depends on water more than ever to function smoothly and safely. Yet ironically, aging also shrinks our body's water reserves, making each drop we lose more dangerous and each sip more precious. That's why hydration after 60 isn't just a tip, it's a survival strategy, a way to stay strong, sharp, and mobile longer. The kidneys begin to work less efficiently with age, meaning toxins build up faster and need more water to be flushed out. When water is low, these toxins circulate longer, straining vital organs, leading to fatigue, foggy thinking, and greater disease vulnerability. And it's not just the kidneys. Digestion also slows down with age, and hydration becomes crucial in preventing constipation and digestive sluggishness. Dry tissues in the intestines create friction and block movement, but hydrated tissues glide easily, keeping your system flowing like clockwork. Many seniors rely on fiber supplements for digestion, but without water, fiber becomes cement. It needs hydration to work effectively. Even medications can backfire without enough fluids. Many common prescriptions become dangerous or less effective in dehydrated conditions. Some medicines for blood pressure or heart issues flush out fluids, creating a hydration deficit that worsens over time if ignored. That's why a simple cup of water can be the key to making your medication safer, gentler, and more effective. Let's also talk about the brain, because dehydration doesn't just affect the body, it can cloud the mind in deeply subtle ways. Mild dehydration in older adults is often mistaken for dementia. Confusion, forgetfulness, irritability, these can vanish after proper hydration returns. That's not a miracle, that's biology. Our brains are 75% water, and their performance depends entirely on constant hydration support. When water is low, the brain shrinks slightly. Neurons fire less efficiently, and memory and focus begin to flicker and fade. Worse, these symptoms can mimic early Alzheimer's or other conditions, leading to unnecessary worry, medication, and misdiagnosis. In fact, in many ER visits involving senior confusion or delirium, simple dehydration is found at the root of the issue. A daily hydration routine could be the simplest form of brain protection, cost-free, side-effect-free, and universally beneficial. Then there's the heart. After 60, the heart works harder to maintain pressure, rhythm, and flow, and water supports every heartbeat. Blood thickens without enough water, increasing the heart's workload and raising the risk of clots, stroke, and other cardiovascular events. Hydration keeps blood volume healthy and prevents the kind of pressure spikes that can lead to medical emergencies. Low water levels also contribute to orthostatic hypotension when seniors feel dizzy or faint upon standing, risking dangerous falls. Falls after 60 can lead to fractures, surgeries, and long recoveries, but they're often triggered by something as preventable as dehydration. In this way, water becomes an unseen protector, guarding mobility, preventing collapse, and offering strength without any extra effort. Even the skin, which becomes thinner and more vulnerable with age, gains resilience and glow through consistent daily hydration. Dry, papery skin becomes more prone to bruising, cracking, and infection, but water from within restores its strength and elasticity. Lotions can only do so much. True skin health begins at the cellular level, and water is the fuel those cells crave. The same applies to joints. Cartilage is mostly water, and when hydration drops, joints become stiff, creaky, and painful. Arthritis pain may worsen not from inflammation alone, but because the cushioning fluids have run low from insufficient water intake. Even mobility and strength depend on water. Muscles are nearly 80% water, and dehydration leads directly to fatigue, weakness, and instability. For seniors aiming to stay active, prevent frailty, or keep walking unassisted, hydration is not a bonus, it's a necessary. Fatigue is often misattributed to age, but water may be the missing piece behind that daily slump or mid-afternoon crash. You don't need energy drinks, you don't need caffeine, you need water. A pure, powerful, overlooked source of vitality at any age. Another crucial but invisible impact of dehydration is on the immune system, which is already more fragile after 60. Lymphatic flow slows without water, impairing the circulation of immune cells and reducing your body's ability to detect and kill threats. This increases your vulnerability to colds, flus, and infections, and stretches recovery times when illness does strike. So, in essence, every system you rely on, digestion, cognition, strength, immunity, mobility, works harder and breaks faster without enough water. Yet you don't need gallons, just a steady intake spread through your day can change how your entire body functions and feels. Seniors often fear drinking too much due to bladder concerns, but limiting intake only shrinks your body's capacity and worsens the issue. Hydration trains the body to perform better over time, keeping kidneys flushed, bladders healthier, and bowels moving comfortably without stress. Also, staying hydrated helps prevent urinary tract infections, which are more common and more dangerous in older adults. Dark urine, cloudy thoughts, or a sudden drop in energy can be signs your body is dehydrated and calling for attention. It's important not to wait until you feel thirsty, because by that time you may already be significantly underhydrated. Hydration is a proactive habit, not a reactive measure, especially after 60, when prevention becomes your strongest health defense. Adding water-rich foods to your diet, like cucumbers, melons, oranges, and leafy greens, can help support hydration without overloading your bladder. Soups, herbal teas, and broths also count toward your fluid intake and are easier on digestion for many older adults. Another tip is to sip slowly and often, rather than chugging water in large quantities, which can overwhelm sensitive systems. A reusable bottle nearby can serve as a reminder, and flavoring with mint, berries, or lemon can make water more appealing. Keep a glass of water beside your bed. Overnight dehydration can compound fatigue and confusion in the early morning hours. Upon waking, start with water before caffeine. It resets your system, awakens your brain, and prepares your body for movement. And remember, coffee and alcohol are diuretics. They increase fluid loss, so they don't count toward your hydration goals. Ultimately, it's not just about drinking water. It's about changing the story we tell ourselves about what health after 60 really means. Water is not just a drink. It's a medicine, a tool, and a friend to every organ that works to keep you independent. Hydration isn't trendy. It doesn't come in a bottle promising eternal youth. But it's the closest thing to a miracle we have. When your joints feel looser, your mind feels sharper, and your energy is steadier, you'll know it's not magic. It's hydration. And it doesn't take long to feel the difference. A few days of consistent intake can reverse weeks of low-grade fatigue. The key is to stay ahead of dehydration. Don't wait for symptoms. Don't wait for damage. Build the habit now. It's one of the easiest, cheapest, and most powerful ways to protect your health without changing your life, just your cup. As you begin to hydrate more consistently, subtle shifts in your daily life become noticeable. More clarity, smoother movements, deeper rest. One of the first benefits people often report is better sleep. Hydration plays an essential role in regulating body temperature overnight. When the body is hydrated, it can cool itself effectively, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep more deeply. Dehydration, on the other hand, can cause dry mouth, leg cramps, and restlessness that disrupt the sleep cycle in frustrating ways. Aging already challenges sleep, so water becomes one more support beam for maintaining long, restorative nights of rest after 60. Hydration also stabilizes mood. Irritability, anxiety, and emotional fluctuations often result from low fluid levels impacting neurotransmitter and hormonal function. Water helps flush out cortisol, the stress hormone, keeping you calmer, more centered, and better equipped to handle daily life. Even light dehydration can increase cortisol levels, raising stress unnecessarily and causing a sense of unease or constant low-level tension. By simply sipping water throughout the day, you regulate both your nerves and your perspective, reducing stress at its biological roots. Hydration also affects how well you move. Literally, water lubricates every joint, nourishes muscle cells, and cushions the spine for motion. This becomes especially important after 60, when stiffness can limit flexibility and make simple tasks like bending or reaching more difficult. When joints are well lubricated, movements become smoother, less painful, and more enjoyable. Even light walks feel easier and more refreshing. Muscles too benefit immensely. Hydrated muscle fibers contract and relax more efficiently, reducing the risk of cramps and boosting physical performance. You don't need to be an athlete to appreciate this. Every step, every lift, every movement is smoother when your body is hydrated. It also helps with balance, which many seniors struggle with. Dehydration affects the inner ear's fluid balance, which controls equilibrium. When hydration is low, dizziness and vertigo may increase, causing stumbles, missteps, and a greater risk of falling indoors or outside. Maintaining proper hydration means protecting your balance, your confidence, and ultimately, your independence to move about without fear. Another underestimated area water influences is metabolism. Yes, even metabolism changes with hydration, and it matters more with age. When the body is dehydrated, metabolic rate slows, cells operate sluggishly, nutrient absorption is reduced, and fat burning becomes less efficient. Many seniors worry about weight gain or slowed digestion, but fail to connect those changes to their hydration levels each day. Drinking water before meals can also help control portion sizes, prevent overeating, and signal fullness more accurately to your brain. It supports liver function too, allowing it to metabolize fat more effectively and flush out waste byproducts without overloading the system. Simply put, if you're trying to manage your weight, digestion, or energy levels after 60, water is your first ally, not your last. Let's also look at the eyes. Aging often brings dry eyes, blurred vision, or eye strain, but hydration plays a protective role here too. Tear production diminishes with age, and without enough water, the eyes can become irritated, red, or overly sensitive to light. Staying hydrated supports tear fluid production, eye lubrication, and better overall comfort, whether you wear glasses or not. It's especially important for those who spend time reading, watching screens, or dealing with dry indoor air conditions. Dry eyes aren't just uncomfortable, they can impair vision and lead to infection or more serious ophthalmic issues if left unmanaged. And while you hydrate the eyes, you're also helping your mouth. Seniors often experience dry mouth, which affects speech, taste, and teeth. Saliva production slows down with age and certain medications, but hydration can significantly help in replenishing oral moisture. Saliva isn't just for comfort. It protects against tooth decay, gum disease, and infections by washing away bacteria and food particles. By drinking water, you're not just quenching thirst. You're actively protecting your oral health and avoiding costly dental interventions. Even taste and smell are impacted by hydration. Dry mouth dulls taste buds and nasal passages, reducing your enjoyment of food. Water helps activate the senses again, bringing back enjoyment in meals and possibly improving appetite where it has decreased. And that appetite boost is important because dehydration can create a vicious cycle where low fluids cause poor appetite, which worsens health. Older adults may eat less, not realizing they're dehydrated, and then suffer from nutrient deficiencies and further decline in strength. Water isn't just a filler, it's an activator. It prepares the digestive system to receive food and absorb it more efficiently. And when we talk about aging, bone health must be mentioned. While calcium and vitamin D are key, water also plays a role. Bones contain water too, and healthy hydration helps keep bone marrow nourished and joints cushioned, preventing fractures and bone loss. Dehydrated bones become brittle over time, and without proper fluids, the risk of osteoporosis or breaks increases quietly but surely. Hydration also supports blood flow to the extremities, reducing cold hands and feet and helping with neuropathy symptoms some seniors experience. Proper circulation helps deliver nutrients and oxygen to cells, especially in areas that might otherwise be neglected as we age. It also keeps the skin from developing pressure ulcers, a common issue for less mobile seniors, especially in hospital or care settings. Even the skin's natural barrier function improves with hydration, reducing infections, eczema, and inflammation that can worsen without fluid support. Water also helps regulate body temperature, which becomes harder to control with age, especially during heat waves or cold snaps. Older adults are more susceptible to both overheating and hypothermia, in part because the body's thermostat weakens without proper hydration. Water acts as a thermal buffer, absorbing heat, cooling the body through sweat, and keeping internal temperatures steady in changing environments. This becomes critical during hot summers, when dehydration can quickly escalate into heat stroke without early warning signs. Now, some might think drinking too much water is a risk, and yes, overhydration is real, but extremely rare with normal habits. The goal isn't to drown your system. It's to restore what's lost and support what's needed through slow, steady sips. A good rule of thumb is 8 cups a day, but this varies based on activity, weather, diet, and medications. If you're sweating more, moving more, or taking diuretics, your body will need more water to stay in balance. And remember, foods count too, especially those high in water content like fruits, vegetables, soups, and smoothies. Hydration doesn't have to be boring. Infused waters with berries or citrus can feel refreshing and create variety throughout the week. You can even create a hydration routine, morning water with lemon, midday herbal tea, evening broth to structure intake around your schedule. It's about making hydration a lifestyle, not a task, something woven into your habits so it supports every system every day. Many seniors carry a water bottle with them or set phone reminders to sip, slowly building consistency without overthinking it. Others pair hydration with medications, meals, or daily walks, tying it to something they're already doing for easier follow-through. You don't need to reinvent your routine. You just need to include water as a regular participant in your health journey. And if you ever feel fatigue, dizziness, dry mouth, confusion, or headaches, reach for water before anything else. It's the simplest form of first aid, a way to reboot your system, especially when the cause isn't immediately clear. Hydration becomes a secret strength. You don't see it working, but its effects ripple through every organ, every function, every breath. Once hydration becomes a daily habit, the body starts to respond in remarkable, almost quiet ways that build up over time. You'll find your energy doesn't crash as easily, there's less midday exhaustion, fewer foggy mornings, and a deeper sense of clarity. Your joints don't ache quite as much when you get up, movement becomes less stiff, and walking feels smoother and more natural. Even digestion improves, your stomach feels lighter, and meals move through your body without the sluggish heaviness you may have grown used to. These are the little miracles of water, not flashy, not immediate, but powerful enough to redefine how you age, day by day. One of the most overlooked benefits is its impact on your kidneys, tiny but vital organs that quietly clean your blood constantly. The kidneys filter nearly 50 gallons of blood every single day, removing waste, balancing fluids, and maintaining critical chemical levels. But after 60, they're less efficient. They need more water to flush toxins, or waste begins to build in the bloodstream. That buildup can lead to fatigue, headaches, swelling, or more seriously, kidney stones, urinary infections, or even chronic kidney disease. Consistent hydration keeps these filters running smoothly, reducing stress on your kidneys and improving how your body handles medications. Speaking of medications, seniors often take several, and water helps dissolve, deliver, and eliminate them properly through the bloodstream. Without enough fluids, medicine stays in your system longer than it should, risking side effects, toxicity, or diminished effectiveness. This is especially critical for medications like diuretics, blood pressure pills, and antacids, which affect or depend on fluid balance. Dehydration and medication side effects can overlap, causing dizziness, confusion, or lightheadedness that are mistakenly blamed on age. But when hydration improves, the fog often lifts. Side effects fade and you feel like yourself again, sharper, steadier, more grounded. Water also helps regulate your electrolytes, essential minerals like sodium, potassium, and magnesium that support nerves, muscles, and heart rhythms. When hydration drops, these minerals become imbalanced, leading to cramps, heart palpitations, confusion, and in severe cases, hospitalization. Maintaining hydration helps avoid these dangerous swings, keeping your body's electrical system running as smoothly as possible. This becomes more important if you're active, sweating, or living in hot climates where fluid and mineral loss can happen fast. Even mild exercise can accelerate dehydration, especially if you're not replenishing lost fluids before, during, and after activity. A simple walk on a warm day could lead to lightheadedness or heart strain if you're underhydrated without realizing it. But a few sips before and after that walk, that could be the difference between a refreshing outing and a risky one. Hydration also supports healing. As we age, wounds, bruises, and injuries take longer to recover, but water speeds that process up. Tissues need hydration to rebuild, circulate nutrients, and remove damaged cells. Without it, healing becomes slower and more painful. This is especially important after surgery, falls, or even minor cuts, where circulation and cell repair depend on proper fluid levels. The body is a healing machine, but after 60, it needs more help, and water is the simplest help you can offer. Even chronic inflammation, which drives many age diseases, responds positively to hydration. Water helps flush inflammatory compounds from the body. Inflammation affects joints, arteries, tissues, even the brain. Staying hydrated lowers the burden and allows your immune system to operate cleanly. And speaking of the brain, memory remains one of the greatest concerns for many older adults, and hydration continues to play a key role. When brain cells shrink slightly due to fluid loss, memory recall, attention, and reasoning all begin to suffer, sometimes within hours. This decline isn't permanent. It's often reversible. Rehydrating the brain restores function, sharpens thinking, and improves short-term memory performance. It's not a replacement for mental stimulation or healthy diet, but it is the foundation. Without it, everything else struggles to work. Water is your brain's silent partner. It helps transfer signals, maintain balance, and even supports the production of mood-regulating neurotransmitters. You might notice fewer mood swings, more emotional steadiness, and even better resilience to life's everyday frustrations. In many ways, hydration is emotional self-care. It lowers cortisol, supports serotonin, and reduces the mental fatigue that mimics anxiety. Even decision-making becomes clearer. When the brain has enough water, it processes information faster and more efficiently, making choices less stressful. That's vital at any age, but after 60, when life decisions become more complex, clarity becomes one of your greatest assets. Now let's explore how hydration affects immune function, particularly during cold and flu seasons, when older adults are most vulnerable. Water helps produce lymph, a clear fluid that transports immune cells throughout the body to detect and fight infections. Dehydration slows lymph flow, delays immune responses, and reduces the body's ability to contain viruses and bacteria quickly. This is why even a mild cold can last longer and feel more severe in a dehydrated individual over 60. But consistent hydration primes the immune system, preparing it to defend, heal, and bounce back without excess strain. You may notice fewer colds or recover more quickly when they do happen, just from better water intake each day. It also supports your lungs. Hydrated lung tissue is more elastic and better able to exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide during breathing. Mucous membranes stay moist, trapping pathogens before they reach deeper into the lungs, reducing respiratory infections and improving breathing comfort. Dry air, dust, and pollution are harder on a dry throat or dry lungs, but easier to handle when you're well hydrated. For those with asthma, COPD, or seasonal allergies, hydration also helps thin mucus, easing coughs and clearing airways more efficiently. You may not think of water as respiratory support, but it acts like one, coating and protecting delicate airway linings from irritation. This leads to better oxygenation, more energy, and better cardiovascular health, since the heart doesn't have to work as hard to deliver oxygen. All of this adds up to one truth. Hydration is your invisible advantage, an inner resource that magnifies all your other health habits. Taking vitamins? They work better when absorbed in a hydrated digestive system. Eating healthy? Nutrients are better transported in water-rich blood. Exercising? Your joints, muscles, and lungs all perform more smoothly when water supports every cell in your body. Even your mindset improves when you feel better physically, and it starts with something as basic and accessible as water. So how can you build this habit into your life if you've gone years without thinking much about hydration? Start small. Keep a glass of water beside you throughout the day, on the nightstand, the kitchen counter, the living room table. Drink a cup when you wake up, before every meal, and in the early evening. These anchors help form a predictable routine. If plain water feels dull, infuse it with sliced cucumber, lemon, or herbs to make it more appealing and enjoyable. Use visual cues like a favorite bottle, pitcher, or app reminder. These help train your brain to associate hydration with daily wellness. Even using a straw or mug you enjoy can create a small positive reinforcement loop around drinking water more often. Remember, this isn't about perfection, it's about consistency. Even modest improvements in hydration can lead to major improvements in health over time. You don't need to count ounces. Just aim to keep your urine pale yellow, your mouth moist, and your body energized. If you do this, you're on the right track. You're investing in a form of wellness that multiplies quietly, steadily, with every sip. There's something beautifully simple about how water works. No prescription needed, no instructions. Just sip, swallow, and let the body do the rest. And yet, in this simplicity lies one of the most powerful and consistent ways to preserve health, especially as we grow older. After 60, every action we take to protect our bodies matters more. Every choice carries weight. Hydration is one of those daily choices. It's not just about preventing illness or managing symptoms. It's about enhancing your quality of life from the inside out. When you're hydrated, you walk taller, you breathe easier, you think more clearly, you sleep deeper, you move more freely and confidently. These aren't small changes. They're the foundational pieces of independence, dignity, and peace of mind as the years go by. Hydration also keeps your cardiovascular system resilient. When blood volume is supported, your heart pumps with ease, your pressure stabilizes. Dehydrated blood becomes thick and harder to move, raising risks for clots, heart attacks, or strokes that may otherwise be preventable. For older adults managing heart conditions, hydration becomes a frontline defense, quietly keeping circulation smooth and workload on the heart low. Doctors can prescribe medication, but only you can give your body the daily water it needs to keep working well. And that daily water becomes even more critical when battling chronic conditions like diabetes, arthritis, or high blood pressure. Diabetics lose fluids faster due to higher blood sugar, increasing their risk of dehydration even when thirst isn't felt strongly. Staying hydrated helps regulate blood sugar levels, supports kidney function, and eases pressure on organs already working overtime. In arthritis, water lubricates joints and reduces friction, offering natural relief without side effects or added medications. Even for high blood pressure, hydration can help. When you're dehydrated, your vessels constrict to preserve fluids, raising blood pressure. But when you're hydrated, vessels relax, circulation improves, and the heart can beat with less resistance and strain. These are subtle shifts, but over time they change your trajectory. They move you toward wellness instead of decline. They don't require big lifestyle changes, gym memberships, or drastic diets, just a little more water more often. For those with mobility issues or who spend a lot of time indoors, hydration also protects against the risks of being sedentary. Stillness slows circulation, muscles atrophy, lungs weaken. But water keeps blood moving, cells nourished, and organs cleansed, even when movement is limited. Hydration acts like motion from the inside out, circulating, cleansing, energizing, keeping the inner world moving when the outer world slows. It's also a tool for social connection, offering someone water, sharing tea, sitting for soup. These moments build companionship and routine. Seniors who drink more fluids often eat better, socialize more, and report higher life satisfaction overall, not just because of water itself, but because water supports the clarity and energy needed to engage fully in life. without the constant burden of fatigue. Hydration helps fight isolation, not directly, but by empowering your body to stay active, alert, and capable of showing up fully. The more hydrated you are, the more likely you are to take walks, meet friends, prepare meals, or just feel motivated. When you don't feel exhausted, you move more. When you move more, you feel connected. When you feel connected, health improves. It's a positive loop, and water is often the quiet starter of that cycle, pushing the first domino forward every day. Now, what about those who simply don't like drinking water? That's more common than you might think, and there are ways around it. Try flavoring your water naturally with slices of orange, strawberries, mint leaves, or a dash of cinnamon and apple. Explore warm fluids like herbal teas, broths, or warm lemon water in the morning, which may be more appealing than cold drinks. Or incorporate more hydrating foods like tomatoes, bell peppers, watermelon, peaches, and lettuce, which all contribute to your total fluid intake. Soup, stews, and smoothies can become your hydration allies, especially in colder seasons when cold drinks feel less inviting. Just remember, hydration doesn't have to come only from a bottle or faucet. It can come from your plate, your mug, your spoon. The point is consistency, not quantity in one moment, but balance across the day, keeping your internal tank comfortably full. If you're unsure whether you're hydrated, your body will often tell you through dry skin, darker urine, fatigue, or irritability. Pale yellow urine is a good sign. Dark, cloudy, or infrequent urination suggests you may need more fluids throughout the day. Headaches can also signal dehydration, as can dry lips, muscle cramps, or feeling overheated without explanation. Don't wait for thirst. That's one of the biggest myths about hydration, that thirst is the first or best signal. After 60, the thirst mechanism dulls, meaning you could already be running low before any discomfort shows up. Instead, build hydration into your day preemptively, create structure around it like any other wellness habit, from brushing teeth to taking vitamins. Start the day with water, add fluids to every meal, keep a bottle near you during activities, sip regularly without waiting. You'll likely find that you snack less, sleep better, and recover faster from exertion when water becomes part of your rhythm. And over weeks and months, these small choices build a new baseline, where wellness feels automatic and decline feels optional, not inevitable. That's the power of water. It's not flashy, it won't promise overnight change, but it will work deeply, steadily, and without fail. As you age, let hydration become your silent strategy, your daily shield, your personal renewal plan from the inside out. Let it support your thoughts, soothe your joints, clarify your vision, strengthen your heart, and lift your mood. Let it be the habit that quietly restores, rebuilds, and reinforces every other step you take toward aging well. Because water isn't just something you drink, it's something you become. It's your blood, your brain, your balance, your being. And the more you replenish, the more you remember who you are beneath fatigue, beyond stiffness, clear, capable, and strong. Hydration may be the oldest medicine on earth, but it remains the most reliable, most accessible, and most life-giving tool we have. So drink a glass, then another. Let each sip be an act of care, a signal to your body, I am here for you. Because after 60, your body doesn't need more punishment. It needs more partnership. And water is where that begins. Every cell in your body is listening, hoping you'll give it what it needs. And often, what it needs is just more water,